How is everyone today? I am so excited that you're here. And you all, we are so blessed with this incredible expert. She is in Costa Rica right now. You will love her vibe, her energy, all the things. She's a speaker. She goes around the world and puts her message out there on all things that are really transformational. And so on this episode of How to Heal Naturally, we are so blessed with our guest. Her name is Julie. We just talked about this. And she just talked about her blue eyes. As you can see, her eyes are like electric blue. And she has a French last name. It is called Blouin. Blouin. Oh, well, actually, I was telling her this. Okay. It's like she's blowing into us. You know what I mean? And I just say, sit back and relax and absorb, because what you put out is what you attract. And if you're here for a reason. So I just say, open up your spirit and get ready to receive. Julie, I'm so excited that you're here with us today.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here.
Yes. And as you can see, she's got like the whole background over there. We don't know what we're going to see. We were like talking about maybe we'll have like a monkey fly behind her, all the things of Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, it's a real background. So it's a real background.
Beautiful.
So the monkeys, sometimes I have monkeys back there. They were howling a little while ago. So there's two different types of monkeys. There's the howler monkeys. They're a little bigger and they howl really loud. And there's the white-faced monkeys. They're a little smaller, but they can take your things. So they can take your cell phone or
Oh
just
my
leave with
gosh.
different things.
That is so adorable. So you're always like making sure you're, like all your stuff is like close to you. Like, you can't take my stuff. Oh, that's so cute. So Julie, tell us, how did you end up in this field? How did you end up doing all the things that you do? I mean, it's really phenomenal, like where you were at and where you've come, and honestly, where you're going. I mean, this is huge.
Yeah, I love helping people live their best life. And I've done that my whole life in the sense that there is a good quote that says, if you choose a job you love, it's never going to feel like you're working a day in your life. And when I was 4 years old, I started healing my friends and I have a twin sister, identical twin sister.
Oh, wow.
So
I had
I
no idea.
started, yeah, I started healing people. Well, I figured out that I could heal people, just remove their headaches, their tummy aches, and different things. So when I was 4 years old, so if they would have something wrong with them, I'd be like, okay, just lie down. And I put my hands like on their forehead and I'm like, your headache is gone. And literally it would go away. And that was at 4 years old. At 6 years old, I decided to line up all my Cabbage Patch. Oh, that gives my age.
Cabbage Patch doll.
So that
So
gives
cute.
my age. Okay, so my dolls. I would, because I never tell people my age, but Cabbage Patch dolls, it gives my age. So I would line them up in the basement and I created the School of Life. So
Mm.
I would be in front of the classroom, in front of all my dolls, and I would teach them about living their best life. So they would not learn about math or English or science or anything like that. I would keep it fun, entertaining, and I would teach them about the skills needed in life.
Oh, wow.
And as I got older, I was really drawn to teaching, and I thought I wanted to become just a regular teacher. And I ended up going to university, getting a bachelor's degree in social sciences, and then applying to Teachers College to become a teacher. While I was doing that, I was teaching in a school and I felt like teachers were unhappy. The kids I felt were not being pushed in the direction of living their best life and their dreams and
Okay.
expanding on their passion. That I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to coach. I want to be like a life coach. But back then, life coaches didn't exist. We didn't have
Right.
a term for it.
Yes.
So I became a sales representative on the road. I was selling metal roofing and siding.
Oh, so interesting. It's
Yeah,
wild because you grew up in like this spiritual realm, and then you took like the traditional, college situation, and you were still like, this is just not my path. That it's incredible. Okay.
I don't regret going the route of getting an education. I do not regret it, but it's not something I would push people into. Discover what you're passionate about, whatever you're passionate about, and move in that direction. People want to learn from people online. I landed on a video from a 13 and an 18-year-old. They did a live on Snapchat, and their first live, they made over $600,000. So
Oh, wow.
anything is possible.
Yes.
You just have to be passionate about something and just
So
go
good.
for it.
Yes. I love that. So then when you ended up on the road and you were doing your job, what kind of job was that? Was it
So it
sales?
was So it was in sales. But the thing is, I'm a people person. Anywhere I go, I bring my light. So
Yeah.
people don't see the outside really. They don't say, "Oh, she's so beautiful." That what they're seeing is my light.
Yeah.
I energize a room. I go into a store, they all look at me and they stop. And it's not the outside that they're looking at. They don't really realize it, but it's my light. I
Yeah.
bring in the light wherever I go, and it's just I let it shine, and it's my personality. That's why so many people are focused on their
Yeah.
outside appearance, and they want to change everything about their outside appearance. And it's everything, health, wellness, everything comes from within. And it's really important to realize that. So when I would go into lumber yards and sell my product, I realized that people wanted to buy from me. And what I started doing to increase my sales, I would actually coach them. I became a business coach, and I would coach them how to sell my product.
Okay.
And if
Yes.
they would learn how to sell my product, they would buy more. So that's how I increased my sales. And that's how I started becoming a business coach. We were 13 sales reps, and the other ones could not believe how I was just like a junior rep. I was in my 20s back then. They were all in their 40s,
That's
50s,
amazing.
60s. And they're like, "How are you selling so much?" I'm like, "I'm a business coach. I show them how to sell the product, and then they buy from me." So I started coaching back 20 years ago as a business coach. And when life coaching became a thing, I became a certified professional life coach. And I do both now. And I'm a motivational speaker, and yeah, I do both.
I love that. So, okay. So my question to you is do you remember that moment in your life where, because you were so young, you were 4 when you started on this journey of healing, and then, 6, you were still on that same journey, and then obviously you're still that light now. Was it your parents or your environment? Were you always that intuitive?
I've always been intuitive. I've always been different. I've never really fit in anywhere. And I actually did not enjoy school because they would limit you. One of my teachers, my English teacher, I actually only learned how to speak English. I was 11 years old
Oh, wow.
in sixth grade. And in eighth grade, my English teacher said, "Going into high school, I don't think you should be taking all these English courses because your English is really terrible." And that's
Oh,
what she
wow.
said. And and then I didn't listen to her,
Mhm.
and I ended up in ninth grade just doing a presentation in front of the class about my trip to Venezuela. And it was an oral presentation. And I'll admit it, like my English was not that great. Like I had a big accent back then, but I did a presentation on my trip to Venezuela, and it's something that I was so passionate about that I ended up having the highest mark in in
Wow.
in class. So
Yes.
I've always felt inspired and guided to follow my passion and
Mm.
not listen to other people. And I've never ever fit in. I've always shined a little too bright for other people, especially having an identical twin
Yeah.
sister that looks exactly like me. Like she's super beautiful. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I felt like we were always in competition with each other. People would always compare us.
Mm.
And it was difficult to fit in. So starting at an early age, I always had to look
Okay.
within
Yeah.
my heart to find, what I'm passionate about. Why am I so different? Stop toning down who I am to try and fit in. If people are unhealthy around you, it doesn't mean that you need to follow in their footsteps. Just be healthy, just radiate, just shine. It's important to stay authentic and our own self.
Yes. No, I love that. I love that. That's so interesting. So do you find yourself, because you are a twin, and that does make so much sense, like when you have an identical twin and you're trying to set yourself apart, do you find yourself coaching like a lot more twins than you would have expected?
No, I don't coach a lot of twins than I'm expected, but I coach a lot of people because what happens is so many people compare each other to other people.
Okay,
No,
right.
they say I can't do that because this person is more successful, this person is more beautiful, this person they're always comparing themselves to other people around them, whether it's famous people or people they know. So it limits their potential to succeed because they're comparing themselves. But the thing is that people need to remember is that there's room for everyone in this
Mm,
world to
yeah.
follow their passion, to earn money, what it is that they love doing. But number one is they need to be healthy, they need to be centered, and they need to go within, figure out what your strengths are, focus on your strengths. That's it.
Mm,
Don't focus on what you lack. You always focus on your strengths and you draw from that. And yeah, you just move ahead in life by following your passion, by focusing on your strengths. And I always tell people that it's not to compare yourself. We're all on our own journey, on our own path, and let your light shine and just start. It's one single day at a time. I always say you're in competition with yourself.
yeah.
So you need to show up today better than the person you were yesterday.
Yeah.
So when I look at videos of myself from like 2 or 3 years ago, I cringe. I'm like, wow, that was me like 3 years ago. Why? Because I'm always up leveling my life. I'm always upgrading.
Yeah.
Even when you change your mindset and when you change what's inside, it
Hmm.
radiates on the outside.
Yeah.
So when I look at myself from even 2 years ago, it's not like from a long time ago. I still cringe. I'm like, wow, like I've
Yes.
I've improved so much. I've changed so much. We're constantly evolving and changing. So it's important to just show up better than the person you were yesterday. So we're not in competition with anyone else. We're
Yeah.
just in competition with ourselves to show up better.
That is really powerful. And I can see how you can learn that so young and really bring it through in your life. And so, like, through your journey, you're now in Costa Rica. How did you end up over in this area? And why did you choose this part of Costa Rica?
And that's a really good question. Well, I came here about a year ago. It was in August of last year. Now, I did travel back to Canada back and forth. Um, I just felt like Canada was limiting my potential to succeed. I
Mhm.
just felt somewhat, I don't know, kind of trapped and kind of limited. And there wasn't a lot of people that were shining just health, vitality, happiness, and all that. Canada is one of the countries right now where the energy is a little bit more dense. A
Mhm.
lot of people are stressed out, unhealthy, and they're quite overweight. Like
Mhm.
here,
Mhm.
when I go to the beach in Costa Rica, I live 20 minutes away from, I don't know if you know supermodel Giselle Bundchen.
Yes,
she's
yes, for
she's
sure.
she's beautiful. She has a twin sister
Okay.
as well. She inspires me.
Oh,
But she
wow.
lives just 20 minutes away, 15, 20 minutes away from here in Playa Hermosa in Costa Rica with her kids.
Oh,
And
wow.
a lot of people ask me, they said, "Did you ever run into Giselle, at the beach?" And I tell people, listen, everyone at the beach here, they all look like supermodels. So
Yeah, I love
she
that.
she could have been there. I could have run
Yes.
into her. But I mean, people here, they just look like supermodels. It's not rare to find someone that looks like her here.
Yeah.
Whereas in Canada, it's very different. There's a lot of people that, have toxic habits. The
Mhm.
portions are really big when you go to the restaurant. Like I'm in the jungle of Costa Rica. There's no McDonald's, Burger King, Second Cup. Here in the jungle, the closest McDonald's is a 4-hour drive,
Oh,
you know.
wow. You're in the jungle.
I'm in the jungle. So here, I'm in the blue zone of Costa Rica, which is called the Nicoya Peninsula. Now, the blue zone of Costa Rica, the reason I wanted to come here is because it's very rare. There's only 5 blue zones in the world.
Mhm.
Now, there's a place in California, there's a place in Italy, there's a place in Greece, there's a place in Japan, and I'm forgetting, Costa Rica. So there's 5 places in the
Right.
world. So with the blue zone, here, the Nicoya Peninsula is actually the biggest region in the world. Now, a blue zone means that people are happy, healthy, and they live to be longer.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
so it means that there's a high percentage of people over 100 years old,
That's amazing.
and they don't have like a terminal illness or critical illness. They're actually quite healthy. Now, I wanted to come here to learn, why are people so healthy and why are they living so long? Like, what is their lifestyle like? And I found out here in Costa Rica, there's a lot of factors. So number one, people eat a lot of raw, like a raw diet, which
Okay.
means that they pick fresh fruits from the trees. They eat it. They eat a lot of rice and beans as well.
Hmm.
And people do a lot of exercise. There's yoga everywhere. They
Wow.
don't have a lot of stress, where the motto here in Costa Rica is pura vida. Pura vida means pure life. So people embody the essence of pure life, pura vida. Something happens, you just say pura vida. Like there's no worries, no stress, like you'll
Right.
figure it out, and we're so close to the equator. It's about 8 to 12 degrees from the equator,
Wow.
which means when the closer you are to the equator, actually, the healthier you are,
Oh,
mind,
interesting.
body, and spirit. So, what happens is we get actually 12 hours of light and 12 hours of darkness, which means people get a lot of sleep
Yeah.
and people are very close to their family. People are not out in restaurants or partying or outside the house very late at night because the
Mm-hmm.
roads are not very lit up and it's not very good driving, especially at night. So they're very close to their family. Like the family unit is so important in Costa Rica, and it makes people happy and it makes them very close to each other. So yeah, sunrise is like 5:30, 6 a.m. Sunset is 5:30, 6 a.m. So a lot of people get that closeness from their family members and a lot of sleep.
I
So
love
yeah, so I'm
that.
in the blue zone. I love it here.
So tell us, when you ended up moving there a year ago, I know you had been back and forth and visited, back and forth a little bit, but what would you say in this transition from when you moved there last August till now? Like, what would you say were some of your biggest takeaways now that you've actually lived it and experienced it and absorbed it? Like
You
in
need
your
to
own personal life, a shift.
Yeah, so you need to let go of limited beliefs and everything
Mhm.
preventing you from moving forward in life. So many people come to Costa Rica with the big dream of living here and they only last 2 weeks and they go running back
Okay.
to their home country. You need to let go of self-sabotage. It's the reasons that prevent you from moving forward in life. So I would highly recommend for people that want to move out, like outside of their comfort zone, move to a different place, to hire a life coach for that period of time of maybe 2 months so that they can get their foot in the door and not go back to their
Right.
whole habits. What happens is that when you're moving, it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing as losing weight, eating healthy, doing something you've never done. Like if you want to go somewhere you've never gone before, like if you want to write a book, you need to just write that book and just hand it in and just put it out to the world. Like there's nothing safe or comfortable. Like you need to get comfortable with the new, with the uncomfortable. So my biggest advice is whatever you want to do in the world is you need to shift your mindset and you need to let go of your habits and anything
Mm.
and everything keeping you safe. You need to really every single day step outside your comfort zone, do something you've never done before, and reach out to people like a life coach or to people that are where you want to go. I see so many people wanting to live their dream life, and after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, maybe a month, they just go back. And they said, well, I haven't been able to make it. It's your beliefs is keeping you trapped.
Right, right. So was that something that you overcame? Because it sounds like you're kind of a prodigy from the rest of us over here. Like you started this at 4, then 6, then you moved there, and then you wrote an incredible transformational book. You're a speaker. Did you ever go through a dark moment, or have you always just stayed really just centered and just was able to effortlessly flow?
Nothing is effortless for anyone, and even coaches need coaches, and I say that all the time. And I'm
Mm.
so grateful that I'm able to coach some of the best people in the world, and I'm so grateful for that. I also have amazing coaches that I can reach out to at any time. And I've had struggles where I was in the jungle and I talked to this one coach, and I said what I was struggling with, and I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna start doing this or start doing that. And I felt some of the obstacles kicking in, like the loneliness of being out in the jungle and
Mm.
just different struggles that I was struggling with. And yeah, I reached out to a coach, and then he would just like kind of bring me back to why I started this in the first
I
place
love
and
that.
where to go. It's just sometimes some of the obstacles can come towards you, and then you have a blurred vision because you're focusing on the obstacles. Everyone has obstacles. Nothing is easy for anyone. Everyone has fears and limited beliefs. Like, I've never met anyone with no fear. Like,
Right.
when you're trying to do something you've never done before, the fear is going to kick in. Like, it's going to be there. And I always, like, I even have coaches. Like,
I
I'm
love
human.
that.
No one's
I love that.
perfect.
Me
And
either.
I don't pretend that my life is easy. I don't pretend that my life is perfect. I put out a video out there because I put a lot of videos, and I show hard moments. I show behind the scenes of photo shoots, uh, footage of when I was doing a documentary. And I've shown in my house in Costa Rica with no electricity for like 4, 5, 7 days in a row. We had no
Wow.
electricity. Every single day the electricity would go out. And I showed people, I was crying. I couldn't take it anymore. And I told my audience, like, I did not sign up to be in a darkness retreat where it's dark. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
so I put my struggles out there for people to see that it's not easy for anyone. And I don't pretend that it's easy to step
Yeah.
outside your comfort zone and to do something you've never done before.
I love
It's
that.
important to reach out to people that can help you
Yeah.
grow, to help you keep pushing forward. Those are the best people to have in your life. There's a good quote from Jim Rohn that says, you're the average of the 5 people you
Mhm.
spend the most time with.
Yeah.
So it can either be in your entourage, like in your family or in your friends, but it can also be people online. So
Yeah.
I always tell people, please surround yourself with
Mm.
people that are positive, that are brilliant, that are inspiring you to become the best version of yourself. And if you only have like negative people, unhealthy people in your
Mm.
environment, spend more time online every single day listening to the content of people that are exactly where you want to go. You need to consume their content because your actually mind does not know the difference between what's real and what's actually online, what's like a movie or like a person online. Your mind cannot tell the difference between those two things.
Mm. Mhm.
So for
Mhm.
people that have teenagers that are always negative and nothing's ever good enough,
Right.
it's like limit the time like with your teenagers and spend a lot more time consuming content
Mm.
online from people that inspire you to keep
That's
moving
so
forward.
good. That's so good. You're right, because a lot of times we can just fall down into that tunnel, you know? And that's the one of the things that I absolutely love about you, following you for a couple of years now, and all that you do is like you are the essence of what you teach. Especially your coaching style and like your writing style and all the things. So when you wrote your book, A Journey to Riches, what really propelled you to actually, because you remind me so much of like an accountability coach too. It's like, you know what I mean, like when you take on your clients, like a client knows if they're going to sign up with you, like they're going to win, because you're not going to let them fail, you know what I mean? So when you first decided to write that book, I know, like, going all the way to the end and getting something published, there's always like roadblocks. What was it that really inspired you to just keep going in it?
It's just so important to follow your dreams, whatever you're passionate about. And I always do a vision board and with massive dreams. And the reason I tell people to take massive dreams and to put it on your vision board is because if you don't achieve those massive dreams, you're still going to achieve something
Hmm.
very incredible, like
Yeah.
so good. And what inspired me to write is I just wanted to be visible to more people. One-on-one coaching is great. It's amazing, but it's very limiting in the sense that I want to help millions of people.
Yeah.
And when I got, so you never know who's actually watching your content. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many people that are watching from the sidelines.
Yeah.
So I got approached to co-write a book. It was called A Journey of Riches. It was called something about the first one was called something about fears, overcoming your fears or something like that. But that was during
Mm.
the pandemic. The pandemic had just hit, and I in March 2020, and I was approached with that. I think it was in April 2020 to
Wow.
co-write Overcoming Your Fears, and I actually turned it down because I wasn't ready. I'm like, oh my God, I think I have fears. Like,
Oh, so interesting.
so,
Yes.
and then what happened was I was having dinner with a friend, and at dinner I said, you know what? I'm really ready to co-write a book now. Like right now, I'm ready to co-write a book. And as I was saying that at dinner, in my emails, the same person approached me to co-write The Attitude of Gratitude.
Oh, wow.
And at that instant, so I feel like I really manifested that. We can manifest so many different things. It's so important to keep our thoughts positive on what it is that we want to bring into our life and
Yeah.
never focus on obstacles. We need to focus on where we want to go. So
Mm.
when that book offer came in for The Attitude of Gratitude, I said yes. And I just put myself out there and just co-wrote it. And it's scary to co-write your first book because we were a total of 12 people, so I'm one author out of 12.
Yes.
So and you don't want to be the weakest link. So I handed in my chapter and I'm like, what if the editors don't think it's good? What if I'm the only one? What if no one's engaged with it? What if there's reviews online and it, like
Yeah.
you have all the what ifs and you
Right.
have all these
Right. The what
doubts.
ifs.
It's you need to just go out there, put it out in the world and let go
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
expectations, let go of outcome, let go of people's perception of you. That's your story. It's your life. You're there to shine your light and to help people level up their own life.
Yes.
So it's so important to just to just do it, let go, and that's it. So I co-wrote The Attitude of Gratitude and then Messages from the Heart. That was about letting go of your mind and
Okay.
going within your heart space on your path of personal growth and just following your heart, following what you're passionate about. And the last one was Live Your Passion. It's about guiding people how to figure out what they're passionate about and just go for it and, figure
Love
out a way
that.
to earn money doing what it is that you love.
I
We
love.
shouldn't have to struggle and work a job that we don't enjoy doing,
Right. Right.
especially with the internet. Figure out what you're passionate about and just do that. It's never ever going to feel like you're working a day in your life.
That's so good. I love that. I love that. So Julie, tell us about like the day in the life of Julie, like when you get up in the morning, because you feel it's like you're so like you just ooze with love, but yet go after your dreams, like don't give up. Like we all go through hard times. Are you like a meditating person or do you just take that throughout your like how does your day flow?
I'm at, how can I say this? I work well under pressure
Okay.
and not that I'm a procrastinator. Just sometimes I do that. Things that are more difficult, I'll put them aside. And that used to be something I used to self-sabotage on is putting it aside. I didn't want to do because it was difficult. I feel like I thrive under pressure. A lot of people say, I don't have time. I don't have time to do this. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. Everyone. So it's about when you're healthy, when you have your health, number one, everything flows effortlessly in your life. So you need to have your health. So be healthy, mind,
Mm,
body, spirit.
mm,
Now, when I don't take the time to either eat healthy or meditate or like meditation for me could be a walk on the beach. Like the beach is like just down the hill.
beautiful.
So it could be a form of meditation where I'm just walking at sunrise on the beach,
Mm,
that you can multitask and meditate. It's so important to take the time to exercise, to eat healthy, and to, a lot of people think it's all about business and the hustling and doing all that.
yeah.
It's about being balanced and centered. everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. I get up really early in the morning. Like I'm up at sunrise. Like I'm up
Okay. Just an
sunrise
early
here is
bird.
sunrise here is 5:30, but I'm up probably I wake up at 4:30.
Wow.
And I just first thing I do is I go to something that inspires me. So I'll either read something that inspires me first thing in the morning.
Mm,
You need to the way that you wake up is it sets the tone for the day. So
okay.
it needs to be inspiring. Now, I never have a long conversation with someone in the morning. I need that time. Like I don't drink coffee in the morning. Like I don't drink coffee at all. I do something that's healthy. So here, just by the pool, which is like right here, I'll do Qigong in the morning, which is a form of like meditation, yoga. It builds your strengths and it just removes like stagnant energy, moves your body.
Oh,
So
nice.
I've started doing that, or I can do like a physical activity, or just I'm not a big cardio person.
Mhm.
I do yoga or I lift weights.
Okay, nice.
But it's really important to stay hydrated,
Mhm.
eat healthy, exercise, to take time for yourself.
Yeah.
That way you can be productive in your business. But we have all the same 24 hours in a day. So for me, it's if I feel the need to go and have a walk on the beach and have a green juice because it energizes me,
Hmm.
I'll take the time and do it. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to still be as productive in my business.
Yes.
It's just how can I say this? Some people waste a lot of time in their business because they're not balanced, because
Hmm.
they didn't ground themselves. For me, it's really important to be fit, to be healthy, and you just let everything flow to you. Everything comes to you effortlessly
Yes.
when you do that, when you're very well balanced. So a lot of people say, well, I don't have time to eat healthy and I have kids and I have
Mhm.
this, I have that. A lot of people, what they do is they find excuses
Yeah.
as to why they cannot do certain things. Or
Right.
they say, well, it comes easily for you, Julie. Nothing is easy. And people
Right.
need to stop saying that it's easy. It's not. We need to focus on the reasons why we can do something.
Right.
Don't
Right.
focus on the reasons why you can't. It's easy to find reasons why you can't. You
Mm.
need to find reasons why you can, but it's so important to be healthy, mind, body, spirit. So eat healthy. There's like an helicopter.
Oh, a helicopter behind you.
Yeah, well, sometimes people come in with, there's a lot of millionaires that live in this area, but they come in like with helicopters or private jets, or
Yes.
there's a little airport, it's a private airport 20 minutes away.
Oh, I
And
love that.
they just fly in as opposed to flying into the international airport. So
They're like, we're just gonna fly into the forest over here, just like pitch tent. I love that. But I also love too, like what you're saying is like you make your life intentional. You're very aware. And so with my audience, I just want you all just to really absorb what Julie is saying right here is that like she gets up early in the morning, she has her juices, she goes by the water, whether it's sunrise, and really just centers herself. So it's so easy, right, for us to make excuses, right, Julie? Like, we're always like, and then us that have kids, we can blame anything on kids, right? We're like the kids, but that's not where it's going to take it. Like if we have these dreams and these goals and we want to live on purpose, this is what it takes. So Julie, what would you if you were to give our audience a tangible nugget for them to take away today, what is something that you would share with them?
nothing comes easily. Okay, so you can either take the easiest path, which is not going to bring you happiness. You know, a lot of people they work a job they don't like because it's safe and it gives them good money, but they're
Mm,
depressed and they're unhappy because they're not being passionate and following their heart
mm,
and doing what it is that they love doing. For me, for instance, I go the route of holistic healing. I do not drink alcohol. I don't drink coffee. I don't take medication. I go the holistic healing route where I believe that your body has the ability to heal itself. And a lot of people actually think I'm way younger for my age than I am. And it's all natural. I've never had Botox surgeries, tattoos,
right.
nothing like that. I just, nothing comes easily, and people have to stop wanting everything right away and instant gratification. Like shopping online on Amazon, they want it the next day.
Right.
So we need to change our mindset, and you can either live your best life, you can struggle a little bit,
Mm.
step outside your comfort zone to live your best life, or you can have the similar struggles to live your worst life. So when people are just um kind of patching their pain because they don't want to grow,
Yeah.
I tell them, just go within your heart space and figure out, why are you like this? Why are you depressed? Why are you, sick? Disease is a lack of ease. It's dis-ease, lack of ease. What's causing it? There's nothing easy, and people need to stop thinking that it's easy for someone, like, oh, it's easy for her, she knows a lot of people, she has connections, she's beautiful.
Mm.
um Nothing comes easily for anyone. I've had to work hard every single day. Like, a lot of people will not give up their junk food or their
Mhm.
alcohol or their coffee or their sleep. I get a lot of sleep.
Or
Sometimes I'll
even their
take it.
surroundings, like what you're talking about. Like you made a conscious effort, not just in those things, but even to remove yourself out of the environment in Canada, into the blue zone, of Costa Rica, like intentional. I love that. Yes.
Like in Canada, I was filming at the beach, and I was gonna do like beach footage in Canada, and I was at the beach, and a lot of people were quite overweight, and I'm like, I cannot show this footage to people on social media because they're gonna think I'm in a special beach for people trying to lose weight,
Oh
like
goodness,
like
yes.
a like a
Right.
an overweight camp, and I'm like, I can't show this footage. But the thing is that you become
Mm,
your surroundings.
good. Yes.
And if you're always surrounding yourself with people that are unhappy, depressed, negative, you're going to become that. Here in
Mhm.
Costa Rica, everyone is, well, not everyone, but for the most part, you go to the beach, they're gorgeous and beautiful, and they're just radiating their light.
Yeah.
Well, you become effortlessly, like, you attract who you are. So yeah,
That
when
is
you change your
beautiful.
surroundings.
Yes. I love this content. I cannot thank you enough for sharing all this. Not only has Julie given us her time to pour into us, I know you all can just feel it. I know some of us are feeling like, oh my gosh, is she like literally just speaking to me? Is anybody else on here? You know what I'm saying? I love that. But she also has a free gift that she wants to bless us with. And it's so generous. So Julie, thank you so much. What is the gift that you're wanting to give us in the audience?
Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to do a self-assessment of why
Love it.
we're where we are in our life, like what's limiting us to become the best version of ourselves. So what I'm going to give people is a self-assessment guide, and it's 20 pages. It's
Oh, wow.
beautiful, and it's yes and no questions for the most part. There's quotes, and there's different things that do explain in the guide, but there's yes and no questions, like, do you do this, do you do that, do you do this? It's a self-assessment guide,
Right.
because the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out what is limiting our own potential to succeed. And it can be in the areas of career, health, or relationships, but
Mm,
we need to really go deep down and say, is it our health, is it our mindset? What's limiting our potential to succeed? Why are we not happy? Why are we not healthy? Why are we not living our best life?
yeah.
And I just, before we end, I just want to remind people, it's so important to let go of the negative and fixed mindset. We need to rise into an abundance mindset and positive
Mhm.
mindset and growth mindset. Everyone can do it. We just need to take the shift. And when I'm around people, for instance, in Canada that have a negative mindset, I just reframe it into something positive.
Oh, that's good.
And like this week, someone said, oh, I had a really busy day. And I reframed it and said, you had a very productive day,
Oh, that's good.
right? So
Mm,
busy means you're very busy, you're rushing around. But
mm,
if you say you have a very productive day, well, it's just that shift.
yeah.
Or it's, oh, I'm so tired. Well, if you focus on the fact that you're tired, you're still going to be even more tired. So,
Mm,
I was productive today. I feel like I need more sleep, or, focused on your strengths. That's what people need to do. Focus on the reasons why you can.
Yeah.
Never ever on the reasons why you can, because if you focus on the reasons you can't, you'll find tons of reasons.
Oh,
If
God.
you focus only on the reasons why you can, you'll achieve your goals.
Hmm.
And we see more of what we focus on the most.
Yeah.
Everything is perception. So we need to really have a focus like this on ourselves and look within. If we're not where we want to be in life, we're not blaming our parents, we're
Hmm.
not blaming our genes, we're not blaming our environment, we're not blaming people and our surroundings.
Hmm.
Yeah, there are situations that happen that we have no control over, but at the end of the day, we are in control of how we respond to whatever's happening around us. We're the ones that have the ability to respond to that and live our best life regardless of whatever's happening around us. So we need to limit those excuses. And yeah, and the freebie is really good. It's a self-assessment guide, because
So
the first thing is we need to identify what's limiting our potential
I
to
love
succeed.
that.
Like what areas, do we need to work on? So
So
it's a
good.
guide.
So Julie, after we go through the self assessment guide, how do we get in contact with you for your coaching?
Yeah, so
Do you
on
do
by
personal coaching now, or do you just do how are you set up now? Because I know there's only one of you, and there's so many that want a piece of Julie. So,
so yes, I do one-on-one coaching, but there needs to be a pre-interview on Zoom before. It's a quick 15-20 minutes
okay.
interview, and I'm very intuitive. I'm a BS a BS finder. If someone finds excuses or anything like that, there needs to be a like pre-assessment
I love that.
before on Zoom for 20 minutes, and it's free,
Yeah.
just to see if you qualify and if you're ready for one-on-one coaching, because one-on-one coaching does not take long. And I will take someone from here, okay,
Mm,
and I'll bring them up to here, and they need to have massive dreams,
yeah.
and they need to be able to be ready to move quickly,
I love
okay, to live their best life. Now, if someone wants to take little small baby steps, I'm gonna slowly integrate them in different coaching programs. It can be like a $99 coaching program, a $29 in-person Zoom call or something
Mm,
like that. Maybe they're not ready for one-on-one coaching right now. So I'll yeah,
I
I
love
do a
that.
lot of self-assessment with clients just to see where they're at. So if they want one-on-one coaching, I just send them a very quick one-page questionnaire as to what they want to work on. And then I see, where do they fit in? Do they fit in the retreat that I'm
Mm,
going to be holding for 4 days in Mexico or in Costa Rica? Would they fit in there? Or would they fit in an 8-week program for coaching? Or do they need a couple of one-on-one coaching sessions, or just a $29 coaching course because they're not really ready
yeah,
to up level their life quickly?
that's so
So
good.
I always do that. I send them like a quick application and just see where they're at.
I love that.
So yeah,
That's
and
so good. That's so pertinent too, because everyone is so different. And a lot of times we can think we're ready for something and we just might not be there yet. But again, we could actually be ready for that, but we're still playing small, but that time is over. You know what I mean? For sure, for sure. And then Julie will be like, nope, you're jumping out of this nest right now, and I'm going to help you.
so they need to have, if they want one-on-one coaching, they need to have massive dreams and want and be ready to achieve those massive dreams. If they want to take small little steps, then I'll gently, guide them, how to achieve their goals. But it's really, yeah, time is valuable. And I do not want to waste someone's time or money on something that they're not ready for. I want success stories. That's
Yeah,
all I want. If
love
you're not
that.
ready to be my massive success story in a one-on-one coaching session, well, you're going to be my success story in like a $99, $29 program that I'm having. So the easiest way for people is to get on my email list. So it would be on my website,
Okay.
www.julie Blouin.com, and just sign up for my newsletter and my email list. So that way they'll see what's up and coming. And yeah.
I love that. All right, audience, we will have that all underneath for you. Julie, I cannot thank you enough for being here. I mean, seriously, you have really gifted us with so much knowledge. I literally feel like I've already gone through a session right here with you and feel ready to like up level to another space and also like go join you in the blue zone in Costa Rica. It's like my brain is like you're talking about like the people on the beach. Anyway, you are amazing. I am telling you. And I know we're signing off right now. I definitely want to bring you back on because I know that you're doing so much, like your personal dreams are so huge, and it's so beautiful to see. So I just want to thank all of you all for joining us today. And if you have any questions or concerns, I want you to know that you are not alone. Please contact us. I'll have all of Julie's information underneath with all of her websites and all of her social media. She has tons and tons of free content all over social. And then if you're interested in taking the self assessment test, we will definitely get that to you. And don't hesitate, because if this is resonating with you, what you put out is what you attract. And I really believe that this is for you. Julie, thank you again for being on here with us on our How to Heal Naturally show. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you too.
Bye, everyone.